you from?
Hi there, Jeff Gross. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Maxons Restorations in New York City. I've been here for 27 years. I earned my CR in 1999, number 387. And the best benefit that I find being a CR and being part of this elite group is the camaraderie and the ability to have people around the country that I can bounce ideas and questions and problems off of and get clear, well thought out solutions. These are the best of the best in our industry, and I have tremendous respect for them as they have for me.
Wonderful. That's awesome to hear the connections that have that this not only designation, but RIA has brought to you. Why did you decide to pursue CR?
Well, I pursued CR. I was the third person in this small company to pursue it because my CEO and our EVP, both Damon Gersh and Howard White, earned their CRs in 1996. And I had to wait until I was 5 years in the industry until I was able to apply for it and study for it.
And was there an aha moment you had during studying saying like, ooh, this is something I can take back that I can have help the company have us be more effective, more productive?
I will say that there were probably a dozen moments like that while studying for the CR class, where I learned things that I may have figured out on my own through trial and error, but realized that there's actually a system and a process to them. And it makes it so much easier to teach and train others once you have that system and process behind those solutions.
That's awesome. So kind of helped evaluate your gut.
Absolutely.
Okay. What's your advice to someone who's starting to pursue it now? What would you tell them about the steps they're going to have to take?
Well, it's a lot longer of a road and a lot more prerequisites now than it was back in 1999. But I will say that it's worth the journey. You're going to learn a lot along the way. And when you come out the other end, you are a respected member of this industry. And that's well worth every minute of devotion and attention it takes to get it.
Wonderful. So not only being respected in the industry, but has the designation of CR had any effect or meaning to your customers or clients?
Well, I'll give you one good story. After 9/11, our biggest project was the cleaning and restoration of Trinity Church and St. Paul's Chapel down around Ground Zero. And we were called by Trinity Real Estate, the property management firm that ran both of those churches, as well as about 60 office buildings in the area for the Episcopal Church. They hired us and we started on Saturday, September 15th, 2001, just a few days after 9/11. And within a couple of days, we had received permission special permission from the mayor's office to get a vehicle down into the tight zone, the hot zone, and retrieve the original oil painting, the seal of the President of the United States and the seal of New York State. During that process, I finally came into contact with the insurance adjuster and their consultant from St. Paul Fire and Marine, now owned by Travelers. And the insurance adjuster was receiving a lot of pressure from up above to remove us from this project and put a large national firm on this cleanup project. And we'd already been 4 or 5 days into the project. We already had a signed contract, and it didn't matter because he was receiving this pressure. And what happened was when I walked in to meet the two gentlemen, and I handed the consultant, a gentleman named Len Paradise, my card, another CR. He looked at my card and saw the CR and goes, "Oh, you're a CR too?" And he turned around to the adjuster and said, "These guys are all right." And they actually let us complete the project, which was one of our most important projects of my entire career. So there's a great story about the CR.
Thank you for sharing that. A great story about the history of not only CR, but what we mean as professionals to our country and our nation, and the value of what being a restoration company still holds in our eyes today. What about when you were earning your CR? Any great stories, your favorite memories, interacting with your classmates? Was there something along gaining this knowledge that stands out to you?
I can remember going up to Pittsburgh to Cliff Zlotnick's school and studying for my CRT, the Certified Restoration Technician, which was one of the prerequisites back then, and flooding out a room and just having a lot of fun getting my hands dirty, which as a project manager in New York City, I never got to do. So that was fun.
Awesome. Hands-on as well as gaining the book learning needed for the certificate.
Absolutely.
Well, I thank you for your time today, Jeff. Appreciate you sharing your experiences as a CR. Any last words you would have for somebody who you think should start their career and work their way towards this awesome designation?
Started early. That's all I have to say.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jeff. And don't forget, everyone, RIA is meeting together in person in Florida, June 28th through 30th. There is some prerequisites for the CR designation at that event. So take a look at RIA's website in order to learn more. Thanks so much.